If you've ever been in a sales meeting where everyone had different numbers for the same deal, you know how frustrating and costly data conflicts can be. Today, I'm going to dive deep into why this problem is so pervasive in sales and how a specialized tool like AnalyzeConflicts can solve it. By the end of this video, you'll understand the technical approach behind conflict resolution and how it can transform your sales operations. Let's get started. Sales data is inherently messy because it comes from so many places. You have your CRM, which might be updated inconsistently by different team members. You have spreadsheets that live on individual drives, emails with crucial client details, and notes from calls that may or may not make it into the system. At quarantadue.ai, every MCP workflow starts from the real tool interface, not from a generic prompt. The goal is simple. Keep the expert in control while the system structures the evidence. Inputs, reasoning, and outputs stay connected in one reviewable flow. Now the results become easier to compare, easier to review, and easier to explain. Each of these sources has its own level of reliability and timeliness. Generic tools like spreadsheets or even basic CRM features aren't built to handle these conflicts. They require manual comparison, which is not only time-consuming but also prone to human bias. This leads to inaccurate forecasts, missed quotas, and inefficient use of sales resources. It's a real industry challenge that costs companies millions. So, how do we tackle this scientifically? AnalyzeConflicts uses a method grounded in data provenance and reliability scoring. Think of it like a judge weighing evidence in a court case. Not all data is created equal. Our algorithm assesses each source based on its historical accuracy, the recency of the information, and the authority of the person who provided it. For example, data entered directly into the CRM by a sales manager might carry more weight than a note from a preliminary call. We also look at contextual factors, like whether the data is corroborated by multiple sources. This isn't just about flagging discrepancies, it's about understanding the why behind them. A common misconception is that conflict resolution means simply averaging values or picking the most recent entry. That's not accurate. Averaging can dilute important information, and recency isn't always a sign of reliability. Our approach dynamically weights information to determine the most probable accurate value. Now, let's talk about what AnalyzeConflicts specifically does. The software first ingests data from all your connected platforms, your CRM, email systems, spreadsheets, and any other tools you use. It establishes baselines for what normal, consistent data looks like in your environment. Then, it runs continuous analysis to identify conflicts. False analysis. When a conflict is found, say a deal amount differs between the CRM and an email, the system calculates a resolved value based on the reliability scores. Every step of this process is logged in a detailed audit trail. This is crucial for compliance, as you can show exactly how and why a particular data point was chosen. Additionally, AnalyzeConflicts includes scenario modeling capabilities. You can ask what-if questions, like what happens if you trust the email data more than the CRM, and see how that affects your overall pipeline accuracy. Let me walk you through a hypothetical example to make this concrete. Imagine a sales representative, Sarah, has a deal in her pipeline. The CRM shows a contract value of $50,000, last updated 2 weeks ago. However, an email from the client yesterday mentions a budget of $45,000. Meanwhile, a call note from a week ago has the client agreeing to $55,000. AnalyzeConflicts ingests all three pieces of data. It evaluates the CRM entry as highly reliable because it's from an official system with a history of accurate updates. The email is recent and from the client directly, so it gets a moderate reliability score. The call note is older and from a single source, so it gets a lower score. The software might resolve the conflict by weighting the CRM value highest but flagging the email for review. The outcome is a reconciled deal value of $48,000 with a confidence score of 95%. This gives Sarah and her manager a clear, actionable number to work with. When it comes to compliance and reporting, AnalyzeConflicts generates comprehensive reports that are easy for stakeholders to understand. These reports detail every conflict identified, the sources involved, the reasoning behind the resolution, and the final resolved values. Say, they are formatted to align with regulatory standards, making audits straightforward. Sales leaders can use these reports to gain insights into data quality trends and make informed strategic decisions. In summary, AnalyzeConflicts eliminates the guesswork from sales data. It saves you time, increases forecast accuracy, and ensures your resources are directed where they matter most. You move from chaos to clarity, from conflict to confidence.